Suhash Chuan Visablit Mawal Pormas. Today we are going to study the future tense. So, in this video we are going to study about the future tense, especially for pattern 1 verb conjugations that we studied in previous video. As I said, Georgian verb conjugations have several patterns, but today what we are going to learn is about the pattern 1 verb and its future tense. Fortunately, I think the way of making a future tense in Georgian is not that hard. It's not that complex. As I wrote here, we can make a future tense only by adding a prefix to the head of a verb. So what is prefix, right? It's some kind of part that we can add in front of the verb, in front of the head. In front of the verb, and each verb, it's a little bit hard, but each verb in Georgian verbs have its own prefixes. I mean, each verb has each prefix, so we have to actually memorize which verb actually has which prefix. That is the only difficulty that we have to overcome in order to study well about the future tense. But if we know the prefix for a verb that we want to make as a future tense, it's very easy to make a future tense. For example, prefix ga is added to archetypes. We've learned this verb before, archetypes. In English, to do or to make, right? So if we add ga to the head of the verb archetypes, we can make the future tense. So here it's on the list here. For example, I will make or I will do. In Georgian, me ga vaketev, me ga vaketev. Me vaketev is a present tense, right? It's about at this moment. Me vaketev. I'm doing or I do, or I'm making or I make. But if we add the prefix here, prefix ga to this verb, we can make the future tense. Me ga vaketev. And the same logic, shen ga aketev. Again, ga, we have to add ga. Is, he or she, ga aketevs. Chven, we, ga vaketevt. Tkven, ga aketevt. Isini ga aketeben. Isini ga aketeben. So we have to remember two things in order to make future tense. First of all, we have to remember the present tense verb conjugations. And then we also have to remember the prefixes for each verb. If we do remember two things, it's easy to make the future tense. So that's why we have to study well about the present tense first, and then future tense as well. So this is example for the verb archetypes, to make or to do, and the pattern is also the same for the verb to eat or eating. To eat, jumps, right? He eats or she eats or something, jumps. For the verb jumps, to eat, eating, the prefix is she. So for example, me vujam, I eat or I'm eating, but I will eat in Georgian will be me she vujam, me she vujam. Shen in the same manner. Shen shecham is shechams. Chven shevichamt. Tkven shechamt. Isini shechamen. Right? So if we know, first of all, we have to know the present tense for the verb jumps, and then we have to also remember the prefix for the verb she, and combine together, and we have the future tense for the verb. me shechamt, shen shechamt, is shechamt, juan shechamt, gwen shechamt, isini shechamt, right? And there are some numbers of exceptions for the future tenses. Sometimes some verbs have completely different forms between present tense and future tenses. For example, swams. Do you remember this verb? To drink, drinking, right? He drinks, is swams, or she drinks, right? This is the present tense. But in the future tense, it will be dalebs, is dalebs. So swams, future present tense, dalebs, future tense. It's different. So there are a certain number of verbs that have completely different forms in future tense. We have to actually remember that. But the number of these kinds of verbs are limited. So first of all, in this video, let's try to remember the main rule to make a future tense, which means, you know, adding the prefix to the present tense, and that's it, right? So now let's take a look at the other examples.
Me წერილს დავწერ, შენ მეილს დაწერ, ის მესიჯს დაწერს. ჩვენ წერილს დავწერთ, თქვენ მეილს დაწერთ, ისინი მესიჯს დაწერენ. მე წერილს დავწერ, შენ მეილს დაწერ, ის მესიჯს დაწერს. ჩვენ წერილს დავწერთ, თქვენ მეილს დაწერთ, ისინი მესიჯს დაწერენ.
So the first example is წერს, to write, right? წერს, and its prefix for the future tense is da წერს. So me, for example, I write a letter for the present tense will be me წერს ვწერ. But for the future tense, we have to add da, right? So I will write a letter. Me წერს დავწერ. წერილი, a letter, but it drops down, right? To make a to add the dative case maker. So წერილი, წერილს, now it's an object, and დავწერ. I will write a letter, right? And then შენ mails დაწერ. წერ, present tense, and the future tense დაწერ. შენ, you, mails, mail. E drops down here and adds the dative case marker, the dative case marker, and დაწერ. შენ mails დაწერ. The third example here is he or she messages დაწერს. Message is a message, right? E drops down here as well, and adding the dative case marker. So is messages დაწერს. He or she will write a message. The same method, the same manner. ჩვენ წერილს დავწერთ. ჩვენ წერილს დავწერთ. თქვენ მეილს დაწერთ. თქვენ მეილს დაწერთ. And ისინი messages დაწერენ. ისინი messages დაწერენ. They will write a message, right? So you have to remember both the present tense and also its prefix to make the future tense. Let's take a look at the second example.
მე წყალს დავლევ, შენ ღვინოს დალევ, ის ლუდს დალევს. ჩვენ წყალს დავლევთ, თქვენ ღვინოს დალევთ, ისინი ლუდს დალევენ. მე წყალს დავლევ, შენ ღვინოს დალევ, ის ლუდს დალევს. ჩვენ წყალს დავლევთ, თქვენ ღვინოს დალევთ, ისინი ლუდს დალევენ.
So the second example, I actually use the exceptional verb dalebs to, remember its form. So swams, it's a present tense, right? To drink, drinking. He drinks, she drinks, etc., etc. The future tense has a completely different form, dalebs. So how does it change? According to the parsons, right? მე წყალს დავლებ. I will drink water. For example, I drink water, or I'm drinking water in Georgian will be მე წყალს ვსვამ, right? ვსვამ. But in the future tense, მე წყალს დავდლებ. მე წყალს დავდლებ. It's different, unfortunately, but we have to remember that. As for შენ, შენ ღვინოს დალებ. შენ ღვინოს დალებ. შენ ღვინოს დალებ. Not შენ ღვინოს სვამ. It's the present tense. In the future tense, you have to say daleb. შენ ღვინოს daleb. And then for the third person singular form, is he or she. Lūdz dalebs. Lūdi beer. Lūdz as an object, and drinks. Will drink, right? He or she will drink beer. Is lūdz dalebs. In the same manner, ჩვენ წყალს დავლებთ. ჩვენ წყალს დავლებთ. თქვენ ღვინოს დავლებთ. თქვენ ღვინოს დავლებთ. And for the third person plural form, ისინი ლūdz დალებენ. ისინი ლūdz დალებენ. I don't drink beer that much, but yeah. So this is the main way of making a future tense from the present tense. Of course, we have to have the knowledge. We have to remember the basic conjugation patterns for present tenses. So if you find this kind of hard at this moment, maybe it's better to repeat or revise about the present tense that we've learned previous videos. And then maybe you can come back here again. But either way, adding perfects, and that's pretty much it. So I hope it's not that complicated. Today that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and abahe, matane. I usually don't drink beer. I think I prefer red wine. I think. Kamarjos. Cheers, Kamarjos.